It's fall food plot planting season, and now it's time to talk about fertilizers and how to get the most out of your fall food plot this year. Hi, this is Matt from Reed's Custom Food Plots. We're here today at our testing grounds along with Kenton from Plot Doctor. We're going to spend some time talking about fertilizer options for your fall food plots. Before we dig into the options that you have, we want to just remind everyone that it's important before you start to adjust the pH in your soil. If you have questions on how to do that, we've produced a couple of videos prior to this one on different types of lime that you can be applying and how to do it. We also did an analysis of liquid lime options just a couple of weeks ago. So I'd encourage you to click on those and check those out to see how you can adjust your pH before you get started with fall fertilizer applications. All right, Ken, so I heard you say a couple things I just want to dive into just briefly. You'd mentioned your soil type is important, kind of determining whether you need liquid or dry. Can you expand on that just a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I had mentioned, a freshly dozed plot where typically we see a lot of the topsoil being removed. We're always going to base it off of a soil tester. That's the best thing to do. But we typically see very low levels in those situations. Those just are going to require more building, more pounds to get to where we'd like to see them. It comes back to that. How much plot are we expecting in the end? We can't make something from nothing.
Right, so in other words, if you've got some really poor soil, you might not be able to get everything you need out of just a liquid product. You might need to get that out of a dry product to get started and then supplement that either that same year or later with a liquid product.
Right tool for the right job.
Perfect.
Liquid has its place, dry has its place.
But how about plots that are established? We know they grow crops. Do we necessarily need all the pounds to the ground to fertilizer, so to speak, or are there other options we can use there?
That's really where the liquid option comes in. If you can get plots established and just feed them in season, we can be very efficient and cost-effective about the way that we go about it.
Yeah, it's something that we found in our business as well. It's been much more efficient and much more cost-effective for our customers. When we went to the liquid products with Plot Doctor, we've been able to grow better crops than we grew before. We're not as concerned and we don't have as much manual labor, so to speak, going into putting down that dry fertilizer.
And every year is different. Yeah, again, use the right tool for the right job, as we keep saying. But a year like this, when it's hot and dry, and say you've got a crop that's half up but it's struggling, you don't have the option to go in and till in or disc in dry fertility.
Sure.
And putting it on top without moisture will do you no good.
Yeah.
So that's where a liquid option that is available to the plant can really come in and save a plot potentially.
All right, Ken, so I start looking at these products and it's really confusing on what I should be looking for when I'm choosing a product. Can you hit on that quickly? Tell our viewers, what do they need to know about the products as they're buying them?
Biggest thing is to just know what you want to do with your products. What seed are you planting? Look at what's on the label. If you look at all of our products, they're 100% fertilizer, they're concentrated, they're meant to do an acre, 2 acres. If you look at some of the jugs at some of the retail stores, they're comprised of mostly water. You can do a garden or a couple pots of flowers with that, but you're not going to be able to do the acreage realistically that we need to in the food plot world. So we've got 3 different products here. I'm going to talk about all 3. Our dry is a 640-6.5 with an L-amino acid for lateral root branching. This is designed to go right with your seed and be spread at the same time. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You want to establish your seed as best as you can, and also a lot of the small brassicas, clover, chicory seeds are small. We need a filler to help apply them to the field anyways.
Sure, why not use a filler that actually is useful?
Exactly. You pour it in your hopper, it's like, how am I going to get this little tiny amount of seed over such a large area? So the dry helps. Foliar is a versatile product. We have guys that use it exclusively in season as a foliar, the way we kind of designed it. We've had a lot of guys that have just started using it as their upfront starter spray, sprayed on the soil. All of our products are protected with carbon, so that allows us to get a lot of efficiency out of the products. We have 2 different sizes, depending on the area that you'd like to treat, gallon and 2 quart or half-gallon size. And then the calcium down on the end we talked about in our previous video. It is a soil amendment product, but it also fits in our nutritional line. Establishing perennials, clovers, trees, anything that's going to be there, alfalfa, for more than a year, calcium is a key component to establishing those crops and getting the longevity that we'd like to see out of them. So calcium definitely belongs both in our nutritional side as well as the soil amendment side.
Yeah, one thing that was important for us is to understand that these were products that were actually derived from large-scale agricultural production, and they've actually been brought down to a food plot level for ease of use. Is that right?
Absolutely. There's tons of options out there. We really simplify the options. We don't need to overcomplicate food plots. We've got everything we need here to take care of a plot from start to finish.
We've done a ton of work evaluating a variety of different products, and I believe, Kent, when we started working with you was about 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so 4 years ago was our first products we put in the market. We tested them here at our test site. The first year was okay, but we've gotten better over time. The proof is right here in front of us. This is corn that was all planted the same day about 4 weeks ago. The corn in front of me, we use no fertilizer products whatsoever. This corn is about knee high. It's starting to yellow on the bottom. Color is not very good. Corn behind me is about waist high. It's full colored corn. This was the Plot Doctor products and a controlled release nitrogen that we use. So this was only fertilized once at planting. We've not added urea or any nitrogen to this, and we're not going to the rest of the year. The products that we've used will carry this crop all the way through to harvest. We feel really good about the products, and we think you would as well. Feel free to drop us a comment below if you've got questions. We'll be happy to answer those. But otherwise, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next video.